Yeah, it has finally happened. Mourinho, Mourinho appointed United manager. This is on the Manchester United website. It's happened, and I can't really say that I'm surprised. It's been heavily speculated upon for the last few months, really, especially for the last 7 days. It's been very heavily rumored and speculated. So I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm shocked, but it's just to see it confirmed. To see it, on the United website, to see him holding that United jersey, and I even watched the interview on the website. It just feels very weird. Especially as a Chelsea fan, very clearly. And the thing is, I think I have a very interesting perspective and a very interesting opinion to offer, which is why I'm making this video. As a Chelsea fan, it's a very strange feeling to see him, stand there with the United jersey. As I said, it's almost like it's similar to when Frank Lampard left Chelsea to join Manchester City. And in fact, there was a game where he played against us and he scored the winning goal for Manchester City, and that was heartbreaking. And it's kind of reminiscent of that. It really is. But another reason that I decided to make this video is because I hope to spark a conversation, a very interesting discussion in the comment section down below. So I urge you guys to leave a comment, because I just want to talk about this. It's such a big thing, and I'm sure 2 or 3 seasons down the line we're gonna say, remember that time, or maybe even 10 years down the line we're gonna say, remember that time when Mourinho joined United. And I feel like we're living in a historic moment right now, and I just want to talk to as many people as I can about it. Partly because I don't even know how I feel about it. I'm gonna try to explain how I'm feeling, but I have to say I'm very conflicted. I have loads of emotions bashing against me from different directions. And actually, before you guys leave your comment down in the comment section down below, I'd urge you guys to listen to me first, and then we can kind of develop a discussion from there. So hold your comments for now. Anyway, here is my opinion on the whole matter. For those of you that know me, who've been around for a while, you guys know that I love Mourinho. I absolutely love him. In fact, Exhibit A, I love Mourinho. In earlier this season when he was struggling at Chelsea, I never really criticized him. I've always stood behind his back. In fact, there were some people commenting saying, I think he should be sacked. And we had some very interesting discussions, but I always did support Mourinho. I always had his back. And when he was fired, I was the first to make a video coming out and giving a good old rant about it. And I've been very sad ever since he left. And of course, see him at United now is a very strange feeling. The first initial feeling that comes to me is a feeling of sadness. I'm quite sad that, this guy who won so many trophies with us, who's had so many great memories with us, who's built so many great teams and bought so many great players with us, to us, or I don't know what the proper word is there, but he's done so much for us in the past. That guy is now playing for our rivals. That guy is now our rival manager. And it's really sad, I have to say. But what I tell myself is this, and this is what I hope you guys consider as well. We fired Mourinho. Period. We're the ones who fired him. He didn't leave. He didn't ask to leave. He didn't say, I hate Chelsea, I'm gonna go join United now. And in fact, last season, whatever you want to say, earlier this season, that's what I'll call it. Earlier this season, when he was struggling, he in fact publicly stated, I love this club so much that I'm not going to quit no matter what the circumstances. If the board want to get rid of me, they have to sack me, because I am not leaving on my own accord. And so many interviews in the past, so many times in the past, he has proven that he loves Chelsea, and I think that love is real. I think that love is still there, in fact. I think he still loves Chelsea, even though he's managing Manchester United. But as a Chelsea fan, even with that considered, it's very sad to see him, holding that United jersey right there. Another feeling that kind of eludes me, actually. You'd think that I'd be angry, as a Chelsea fan. He's betrayed us. He's unloyal to the fans. But I'm actually not that angry, and I think some of you may be angry. I hope to hear that in the comment section. But I personally don't feel angry at all. I don't feel like he's betrayed us. I don't feel like he's being unloyal. And here's why. As I said, first thing to consider, the big thing to consider, is the fact that we sacked him. Of course, the fans, many fans, including me, were always singing his name. We're always supporting him, even right till the end. but of course, our hierarchy, our board did decide to sack him for whatever reason because they're stupid. We're the ones who sacked him, and we have to consider that we can be angry and say, "Hey, you joined our rival," but then he can turn right back at us and say, "Hey, you fired me." So there's that kind of balance going on as well. And the big reason that I'm not feeling angry is because I'm feeling happy. And it's very strange. I know it's like I'm feeling sad and I'm feeling happy and I'm like, it's very weird. As I said, I have very conflicted opinions. But the reason, I think the overwhelming feeling right now isn't sadness or anger or any other feeling. The overwhelming feeling for me personally is happiness. A feeling of yes! And I almost feel like celebrating. You'd expect me to be in my shower, crying, holding my knees, and just crying my eyes out. But I'm not because I'm happy. In fact, I feel like we should put on some fireworks, put on some nice music, and dance a little bit because this is something to celebrate. As I said, I love Mourinho. I absolutely love Mourinho, and if he's not going to be at Chelsea, I'd rather that he be at another English club than in La Liga or in Serie A or Bundesliga. And here's precisely why. When he first left Chelsea in 2008 to join Inter Milan, and then he went to Real Madrid, of course, I didn't feel in touch with him. I felt like he was just gone from my life forever. And that was a very, very sad feeling because I love this guy. And it's a very, very sad feeling to not be able to see him, the thing is, I don't follow the other leagues nearly as closely as I follow the Premier League. I follow the Premier League game to game, week to week, team by team, and because he's staying in that Premier League, I'm going to be able to see him. I'm going to be able to see his games and how he plays, his tactics. I'm going to be able to, see what he does, how he reacts to different events, to see how, to see him give interviews. That's going to be fun. I would have missed that because he gives the best interviews, as you guys may know. But yeah, he's staying, so I still get to see that. I feel like he's still a part of my life now. If he had gone to, let's say, Real Madrid or Juventus or Barcelona or Bayern Munich, it would almost feel like he's just gone from my life because I'd only see him in the Champions League games because of the fact that the Premier League is the league for me. So in that sense, I'm incredibly happy to see him stay here. And in fact, that brings some very, very interesting thoughts to mind. As a Chelsea fan, I've been the victim of much abuse from my friends, from some commenters, and just people on the internet in general about being a Chelsea fan and about Mourinho's ugly football, his dirty tactics, and I've always defended him because I love him. I love Chelsea, and he brings the trophies home. And I never felt like he crossed the line. I always felt like he was a very, very fair man. He's always, he never crossed the line, in my opinion. And he's a guy who wants to win. He's a winner by heart. Winning is in his DNA, almost. And, the thing is, he has said some things about other clubs in the past. He has done some things to other clubs in the past, which may be unconventional. And, if he does, what I'm trying to say here is it's going to be interesting to see how he plays against Chelsea and how he acts against Chelsea. And what I mean by that is Mourinho loves psychology. He loves psychology. In fact, there's a famous quote. He says, "The game doesn't start on the pitch, it starts before in the press conference." And there's no doubt, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to try to get inside our heads. I know for a fact that he loves us as fans. I know for a fact that many of our fans still love him. But he's still going to try to get under our skin. He's going to try to get inside our minds, and he's going to try to. I'm sure there's going to be moments where we're like, "Mourinho, did you really have to say that?" Or like, "Hey, Mourinho, why are you bashing us?" And he might say some unflattering things about us because he wants to win. He's a winner by heart. But it's going to be interesting because Chelsea it almost defines him. It's his club. Mourinho, Chelsea, Mourinho. It's almost synonymous. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he reacts when he plays against us. And how he describes our players, and if he loses against us, what's he gonna say in the press conference? If he beats us, how he's gonna react to that kind of thing. And I'm really looking forward to that as well. So as I said, guys, on the whole, I'm feeling quite happy about this. I'm feeling, even though it's not what you'd expect, I am feeling quite happy about this. And as I said, I'm very interested to know what your opinions are. So I urge you right now, leave a comment in the comment section down below. In your comment, just tell me, what club you support, and then tell me what you think of it, because that's just going to give me an interesting insight. Depending on who you support, then I can kind of understand what perspective you're coming from as well. So if you're an Arsenal fan, let's say I'm from Arsenal, and I hate the fact that this arrogant guy is staying in the Premier League. Or if you're, say I'm a Chelsea fan, and I love the fact that I get to see it more. Or whatever your opinion may be, just tell me your club that you support. And if you don't support a club, just say I'm a neutral, and then tell me your opinion about this, because I'd be very interested to know. But I'm also going to be very interested to interact with you guys, and as I said, have a discussion with you guys about this. I'm very excited to talk to you guys about this, and that's really the end of the video, end of my opinion. Actually, not the end of the video, because there is something else that I want to talk about, and I kind of want to do a mini channel update kind of thing. So if you only came here to hear me talk about this, then you guys can leave now. But if you guys have been around for a while and just interested to know what's happening to the channel, what's been happening for the last few months, and how I'm gonna, what's gonna happen in the future, and just stick around. While I talk about this, I'm gonna turn this off because it is making me sick. Channel update, here we go. As you guys may know, I've been inactive for the last 3 months, since February, and I think I did make a video. In fact, I'm sure I did make a video saying that I might be leaving because of schoolwork. Time management is becoming harder, especially because it's my GCSE year, and for those of you who are British, you guys will know what I mean. GCSE, it's like a set of exams that you have to take at the end of year 11 or grade 10 if you're in the American system. And actually, the irony is this. Back in February, I was feeling overwhelmed and unable to manage my time. But right now, I'm actually halfway through my exams. And I have 10 exams coming up over the next month. And I've taken 10 exams in the last 2 weeks, yet I choose right now, probably like the most busiest time of the year, to make a video, which I just find funny. But anyway, as I said, I do have 10 exams coming up over the next month or so. So I'm probably not going to be making videos for the next month for the next month. In fact, basically till the end of June. But I have missed this channel. I have missed making videos. I have missed talking to you guys, interacting with you guys, and just all things Bluetooth. I've missed it. I really have missed it. And when I was gone for every week watching that Chelsea game and not making a video about it, I thought, I wonder what I would say if I was making a video. I wonder how my commenters, my viewers would react to it. I wonder, what kind of discussion we could have about it. But of course, I never really got around to them because the channel kind of died because I stopped making videos. But I really hope to keep making videos and to revive this channel once again. And especially with the transfer window coming up. Transfer windows are my specialty. That's how I began my channel, by making a series called Transfer Talk, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. And especially this season, we have a change in manager. I never even gave my opinions on Antonio Conte. I was very tempted to make a video about that when he was confirmed, but I didn't. And I'm not going to this video, but I probably will in the future. It's going to be interesting to see how he lines up, how he restructures our team, who he sells, who he buys. It's going to be interesting to see what Guardiola and Mourinho do at their respective clubs, at Manchester United and Manchester City, because they're top coaches. And the Premier League, I'm very excited for the Premier League next season. I honestly think next season could be the greatest season of all time in Premier League history. There. And I don't want to miss out on it, and I don't want you guys to miss out on it, and I don't want to miss out on talking to you guys and interacting to you guys and making videos for you guys about it, because as I said, I really missed this. I can't make any guarantees or promises because who knows what's going to happen over the course of the next month. But I really hope to continue making videos when July hits. Because I have loads of things that I want to talk about, and I've learned how to manage my time, that kind of thing, over the course of the last few months. So I think I'm a lot better prepared for the upcoming season. So hopefully this channel will come back alive. I'll be uploading regularly, talking to you guys regularly, and all that kind of good stuff. But as I said, for the next month or so, I'm gonna be pretty quiet. I might be posting on Twitter, so it's gonna be down in the description down below. Be sure to follow me if you want to keep up to date with me over the next month or so. And I feel like I'm rapping right now. But really, that's all I wanted to say. Also, just thank you guys for sticking around. For those of you those of you have stayed subscribed to me, thank you guys, even though I haven't been uploading. Really, you guys are why I make these videos, and it's just great to talk to you guys again. I really have missed making these videos. But as I said, that's really all I wanted to say. Hopefully, this will not be the last video of my channel. This will just be the first of many more to come in the future, in July onwards especially. But really, that's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay blue.